दोस्तों स्टूडियो में आप सबका स्वागत। मैं आपका अपना वरुण तिवारी लेके हाजिर हूँ आपका अपना प्रोग्राम स्टार टॉक्स। दोस्तों आज जो मेरे स्टार हैं, आई फील वेरी प्राउड, वेरी प्रिविलेज जो मेरे साथ हैं। जी हाँ, पल्लवी सिन्हा जी। शी इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट। शी इज़ अ एंकर, शी इज़ अ लॉयर। उनकी लाइफ की थोड़ी सी बातें हम जानेंगे। आओ उनसे मुलाकात करवाता हूँ स्टार टॉक में मेरे स्टार पल्लवी सिन्हा।
The mindset. How do you change the culture if it's been going on for so long?
Well, the next thing I was going to come to is education, and that is really important because true Indian culture actually promotes respect for a woman. There is always a female goddess. The actual country India is known as the motherland. We've had female leaders, we've had a female Prime Minister, we have a female Chief Minister in Delhi, Sheila Dikshit. But there's something going wrong in individuals. So education, right from the primary school level to university to homes, there needs to be some strong education about the way in which women should be treated so that people realise that even simple gropes or harassment, which can then lead later to a belief that rape is acceptable as well, everything needs to be sent out the message that that is not acceptable and that that is not the way society should be operating. Just one last comment I'd like to make also is about curriculum. I would just like to add that I think it's very important that the Minister, from what I've read, is looking at making sure the curriculum looks at Indigenous history and the Federation, our First Peoples. But it's also very important, I think, to make sure that the curriculum incorporates Australian values and also cultural diversity, because that reflects the society we are in. I mean, we're reaching a society now where 45% of people experience mental health. More than one woman a week dies at the hands of her partner or her former partner, and domestic violence is now the highest cause of death for women under the age of 45. So I'm hoping that the curriculums will be looking at incorporating Australian values and diversity as well.
Let's hear from John Roscoe.
The judge has made his decision, but there were two police officers who have been reported as expressing concerns for community safety. So I think very strongly that Federal Attorney General Brandis's push to extend detention and legislation is important and is correct, as long as it's done in the right way and we get the balance right, because the law sets the standards for society. There is community safety on the one hand and the rights of an individual on another, but there is a caveat with the legislation. It wouldn't just be, oh well, let's just put everyone in infinite detention. It would only be where they were thought to be at risk of causing harm to community safety or reoffending, like the...
How do you set a kind of a standard there so that you don't have somebody just being locked up in jail because they look scary and their brother was a bad man?
Certainly, you need to make sure the assessments are done correctly, and the judge did that in this case. He's looked at the facts and the circumstances of each case. But there is existing legislation, the sex offenders legislation, which does have such a caveat. So I think that it's extremely important, especially now that we've been ranked number 3, for us to have legislation which can extend imprisonment where there is an argument and a basis for it. But the other point I'd like to make is we shouldn't just be looking at extending imprisonment. We should also be looking a lot more at rehabilitation. The thing that concerns me is I've read that the average age of these terrorists is 26 and that 80% of them were under 30. So more measures in our community as to why such young people are getting attracted to terrorist plots and acts is something we need to look at, and what we're actually doing with people when they're in prison. And such rallies only add fuel to any fires of division and tear our community apart. Constructively expressing views is one thing, but violent gatherings are another. This does not create an atmosphere where all Australians feel safe to roam the streets or let alone catch public transport. There are numerous examples of racist incidents occurring on our public transport, and people don't feel safe to catch a train or a tram anymore. This has led to a culture of fear rather than a culture of feeling welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, racism in Australia is increasing and it's destroying the Australian dream. This means that our resources are not adequately tapped into, and this then has a detrimental effect on Australia as a whole. I urge you to use your hearts and minds to make the right vote for Australia today.
पल्लवी जी स्टूडियो में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत.
Namaste Varun ji and namaste to all your viewers as well. Thank you for inviting me.
थैंक यू वेरी मच, आपने अपने इतने बिजी शेड्यूल में से टाइम निकाला. एंड दोस्तों, आई फील वेरी प्राउड बिकॉज आई एम विद अ पर्सनैलिटी. एवरीबडी नोज हर, एवरीबडी सी हर ऑन द टीवी. जी हाँ, कितने न्यूज़ चैनल्स के ऊपर आप एंकर देखते हैं. आई फील प्राउड कि आज मेरे को मौका लगा है इनके साथ बातचीत करने का. सबसे आप क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, आज कुछ मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ.
धन्यवाद वरुण जी, यू वेरी काइंड. और मुझे भी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपके साथ बात करने में. थैंक यू फॉर द अपॉर्चुनिटी. और ऐसे लग रहा है कि सलमान खान भी हमारे साथ है. आई लव योर स्टूडियो. बल्ले बल्ले.
बल्ले बल्ले. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हम आपसे बात आपके शुरुआती दिनों से बातचीत स्टार्ट करेंगे. व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड विद योर करियर, you are doing lot of things. Everybody watch you, like you dance on the shows, like events, and after then you are a lawyer and you are doing lot of how you manage everything.
Look, I mean everybody has their different things. आप भी इतने सारी चीजें करते हैं. I am amazed. मैंने आपको नाचने भी देखा है.
This is the show, this is a talk about you.
Okay, well, yes, I was born here. A lot of people may know my parents, Dr. and Mrs. Sinha, and my brother, Dr. Piyush, and I also have a sister-in-law and 2 nephews. And yeah, look, it's the story of the Indian migrant, or any migrant story. When my parents came here, they came here with only a few dollars in their pocket. I was born a few years later in Auburn Hospital.
So you born and brought up here?
Yes, I was born in Auburn Hospital, actually,
Oh,
Western
wow.
Sydney.
Western Sydney, wow.
Westie. And, they were trying and working very hard, like the many Indian migrants who are now coming over the years. And I was left with a babysitter at times. It's the story of any hard-working Australian. And, my aspirations were to make a difference. I wanted to do something to give back and help the community for all the good things that I was given. The only thing that was different, of course, is that my father being a doctor, my brother being a doctor, and then choosing to do law.
So everybody's from doctor family, you are the lawyer.
Yeah. Well, it kind of almost, I got a bit of diss from the community because they're like, you should do medicine. And on the other hand, I was also very lost. It was one of the challenges you face because I followed a path then which my parents weren't, they didn't know much about that area. I didn't have any connections. So I've gradually navigated a path and been able to find different callings that I like in the law.
That's total means we, for everyone, you are the example, you are the idol, and we want to we feel very proud whenever your name comes, especially, and everybody feel very very proud. And you got lot of awards. In 2017 also you will won the best woman 2017. You also do for the domestic violence. So please tell us about that, how you are doing in that area.
Yes, look, domestic or family violence, and again, thank you for your compliments to me. I'm not sure if, how much I deserve them, but very kind of you. And look, domestic or family violence has always been an area that I've been very passionate about, as an Australian, but an Australian of Indian origin who believes in ahimsa and non-violence. And sadly, it is a big epidemic, so to speak, in our society, in Australia and in India. There is a lot of violence. And violence against a man or a woman is wrong, but in relation to women, there is 1 woman a week dying at the hands of her partner or her former partner. So it's a very serious area. The effects are multiple on a woman's health or whoever the person who's been abused, their health, and it can cost a lot of money in terms of workplace, absenteeism, lack of productivity and those sort of things. And also, it's not just in one shape or form. That's an important message for anyone who's watching, whether you're a man or a woman. Domestic or family violence can take different forms. It can be physical, mental, emotional, psychological. So sometimes the scars you don't see, there's the psychological, emotional trauma that a man or a woman may experience is also domestic violence.
You are doing lot of community, you are doing lot of for the community, and you are doing lot of community events. You are doing involving in most of the events as a community member, and you are helping lot of community members and domestic violence and other stuff too. And what is your area when you are talking about the domestic violence, yeah, other things? What's your area? How people you are helping the people, but exactly in which area?
Okay, look, I have had various involvements with domestic or family violence. So, as a lawyer,
As a lawyer.
I have represented survivors of domestic violence, including those who've come here on temporary visas and then are feeling that they may be, forced to go back to the country they came from. So they're in an extra vulnerable situation.
So you also handle the immigration too?
Yeah, I have. And I also have been involved in presenting submissions to government inquiries and meetings with government ministers. And that actually led to positive changes to policy. It was a contributing factor which helped these survivors get more help. It made it easier for them to get help. So from an advocacy point of view, also from a writing, I've written a lot of articles and opinion pieces.
Yeah. Just tell us about that thing when you're doing shooting on the TV and lot of, I think thousands, hundreds of episodes you done on the TV channels, different channels, and you write a lot of articles. So what do you feel when you are, because we feel very proud as you are the first Indian lady who is presenting over whole Indian community. We feel really very proud. Whenever I see, I am really feeling proud because I know you personally. So I really, it's really very good. And how you feel when you just see yourself on the TV? I'm not telling about the recording time.
Yeah.
When you see yourself on the TV, it's coming.
Yeah. Thank you. Look, that's such a good question, because the thing with live TV, like we're doing a live recording now, is there's no rewind or fast forward. So it is a proud moment, and it feels great that the community is getting so excited, but it can be a bit nerve-wracking as well, because you're speaking on a TV screen and you don't know what question you're going to be asked. It could be about anything. I've spoken from issues like immigration, education, women, the economy, tax cuts, and yeah, but it's fun as well. I think over the years now, I've really started to like it.
It happened when myself, some people like me comes to you and go for the autograph, just asking you for the autographs.
I can ask for your autograph. I know you're very multi-talented.
No, I'm just asking, is somebody came to you?
Well, they recognise me. I think that is one of the things with mainstream national TV.
And when you're talking always serious, and that's why they just say afraid from you.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully they're not, but it just becomes that, you're a known personality. People might see you on the street and go, oh, I think I recognise her, or you meet someone for the first time, I've seen you on TV. But look, it's really about being a diverse voice.
Yes.
Because as you mentioned, I'm either the only Indian Australian woman voice or the first Indian Australian woman voice on ABC or Sky News or Channel 10, Channel 9. And it's about then also bringing in that perspective, having been born to this community, involved at a grassroots level. From the days when my father was president of United Indian Association.
I used to dance.
Yes, he was the performer there. So I've been involved from a very young age because
you also danced before. You are doing a lot of community events.
Yes.
And if like you are in the community and you are always also a part of the New South Wales Parliament House, you are doing a lot of events there. So any plans? Anything coming up?
Well, thank you for the question. Look, I think any opportunity to serve the community and to make a difference is appealing. As to whether I, become a candidate or get into Parliament, that's a matter for a party, a political party, and the people of New South Wales. Well, there's so much talent in the Indian Australian community, and some of the forums you mentioned, for example, it's about highlighting the different contributions. You're an entrepreneur, I'm sure a lot of your viewers are entrepreneurs, and it's tapping into that talent and bringing that to the fore, which makes not only our community more engaged, but it's better for New South Wales and Australia as a whole.
Yeah, as a first Indian woman, you're standing in the Parliament and you're in every your words, your voice is everywhere, as going everywhere. So we want to support you too in any area you go. and we want to congratulate you and want to thank you. You are doing very, very best as a lawyer, as a community worker, and you are doing lot of things, and you are making as a Indian very feel proud to us and all community members too. And one thing, if you are not be a lawyer, not be as a community worker, so what you will be?
Look, I'll always be a community worker. I think there are so many great causes to work for in the community, but yes, certainly, look, I really like advocacy. I will continue to be someone who's always fighting for what is right.
Okay.
And, being vocal and taking a stand and supporting people, getting people more engaged in different
Helping
ways.
the people. That's beautiful. And the one thing I just always ask, which people come to my program, how to live the life.
Well, I just laughed. I think that's part of it. It's about living, it's about loving, it's about laughing and learning. Every day of my life, I feel I've learned something new, and I will keep learning until the end.
That's beautiful. Tell us about your upcoming projects. Anything coming exciting?
Look, there's always a lot of excitement in various areas, but particularly as I'm very involved with domestic violence, as we talked about earlier, I'm the appointed supporter for the joint federal and state government campaign to stop domestic violence. So always speaking at forums. Early next year in 2019, there's likely to be a second National Dowry Summit that's being driven by Dr. Manjula O'Connor.
That's beautiful.
It'll be a great way for the community to be engaged and to discuss what the incidence of this area is in New South Wales. I've been having discussions with the New South Wales Attorney General's office and have raised this issue with that office over the years. And they've been very receptive and at the stage of consulting and trying to understand what the level of an incidence of dowry is in New South Wales.
That's really good, and we feel very proud on you. And you're camping, you're giving the messages to everyone, helping the people, and we really feel very proud, very honored you are here with us and in our studio, and we want to thank you again.
Oh, look, the honour is all mine, the pleasure is all mine, Dhanyavad.
And anytime you need our support, anywhere, we are always with you. You want anything we want to do for the domestic violence or anything we can help the people, we are always on your phone call away.
Oh, that's so kind of you, and congratulations again for the excellent work you're doing, and thank you to all of your viewers as well for watching.
And you are this year, next year we are doing Tiya, the Mela at Bowman's Hall, 7th of July. So if you are definitely our VVIP guest.
Oh,
please.
Look, it would be my privilege. I was there earlier this year, and I had a great time. Like that packed house of people, the energy, the dancing. It was, and especially the young girls and boys when they're dressed up. It's really nice to see.
That's only we are doing for the culture, and hopefully next year it will be more exciting things coming up. And thank you very much. And once again, friends, Varun Tiwari with Pallavi ji. And before going, any message how to live the life, or any message for the youngsters, for the people?
Yeah, look, I think really try and make the most out of your life. You have one life, so live it to the full. Follow your potential. Sometimes there may be challenges that you may encounter along the way. I've certainly faced all sorts of obstacles. I've been shouted at, I've been intimidated, I've been harassed. I've been told I'll never reach a position which I did ultimately reach.
Okay, sorry, this is not the last question. Can you tell anything about?
I wouldn't be able to go into detail.
Okay.
And look, I suppose what I'm encouraging younger people and all your viewers is to have faith in yourself, have courage, stand by your morals, principles and convictions. Whatever it is that you're fighting for, if you're fighting for what is right, you will get there. And, live, love, learn and laugh.
Wow. Live, love, learn and laugh. Wow. That's beautiful. I learned something new today.
And I'm always learning something new every day too. Thank you
That's
so
beautiful.
much.
Live, love, learn and laugh. So friends, don't forget this. This is the way she is living, and we will try to live like you. And thank you very much. Be here, and thank you very much for watching this program. Please share and support. And I'm Varun Tiwari, with me Pallavi Sinha. Thank you.